You know, FG Express truly is unlike anything you have seen before. It is the game changer in the history of home-based business. Because if you can send a birthday card to a country, you can send Powerstrips. Powerstrips are listed as a Class 1 medical device with the FDA for the relief of pain and the improvement of the look and feel of skin. FG Express is a new division of a 10-year-old publicly traded company called Forever Green that is taking the industry truly by storm. If you look at the screen there, Forever Green's March growth over 400%. This is a company on the move. Goldman Cap Research writes, with a presence in 166 countries, this profitable company has a remarkable reach and its shares appear undervalued considering its high growth rate, especially given management's propensity to continually raise guidance. That means that they come back to the investment community and say, our projections have increased. Here's what we think we're going to do. Keeps going up. The Alexa chart, if you're not familiar with Alexa, they are the premier company that ranks web traffic. And you can see here that the company's web traffic is growing just astronomically over a very short period of time, becoming one of the most searched names. In fact, according to the Alexa chart, as of today, the company has had a 12,531% growth in web searches. Sounds like a company on the move. This is led by an executive team that has taken an earlier company to over $1 billion in annual sales, driven by a remarkable breakthrough product that relieves pain and improves the look and feel of skin. So let's talk about this remarkable product. It works using heat. We're going to talk a little bit about why and how that works. Powerstrips are designed to be very gentle to the skin. It uses a medical-grade water-soluble adhesive and is intended for regular daily use over time. It is non-toxic and designed with the health of the user and the environment in mind. It is actually made from plant fiber. You can throw it into your plants and help feed your plants and recycle the product. So Powerstrips work on a model that Dr. Sato talks about, the germanium heat pain model. Germanium is a naturally occurring element, and the particles are distributed evenly throughout the Powerstrip. You can see on the right in its pulverized state. That's literally just spread. You don't feel it or see it on the product. It's very, very nano in size. And germanium has optical properties that affect heat and thermal energy. And all of us have probably seen a prism. You know, we studied this in school where you beam a light into a glass, and you'll see that light literally change as visual lights pass through it. It's refracted or bent. It's dispersed into different wavelengths or colors with different spectral energies. And if you notice in the box, infrared has different wavelengths, and the wavelength that we're affecting primarily is the far infrared range. So this prism is an exact model of what's happening with the Powerstrip. You see, as your thermal energy from your body, or the environmental thermal energy, meaning heat from the sun, makes contact with the germanium, it produces this long-wave heat into your body. It is transparent to heat and thermal energy, and as heat passes through it, it's refracted and bent, just like the prism. It's dispersed into different wavelengths with different spectral energies. So constant thermal energy interacting with the Powerstrips used regularly increases heat levels and concentration. And in published peer reviews, research on the interaction of deep heat in the body gives insight and understanding of this concept. So if you look at this photo, what you're seeing is coming out of your body, thermal energy being sent back into the body is this long wave heat. So what does that matter to us? Well, heat in deep tissues has reported very immediate effects. As heat interacts with tissues, your vessels dilate. As dilated vessels carry increased blood, oxygen, and nutrition to the cells. Infrared images before and after are on the screen here. In this particular case, we're looking at the thighs. The top picture is the before without a Powerstrip, and the below image represents the after applying a Powerstrip being taken under a thermographic camera. You can see in the top picture, very low heat signature. At the bottom one, we have increased heat. This represents dilated vessels carrying increased blood volume and with more oxygen and nutrients. Now, to me, when I look at this, even though we talk a lot about Powerstrips being for pain, I'd like to have better cardiovascular health. I'd like to have more oxygen and nutrients going to my cells. So I also think of it as an overall health product, not just for pain. We see this picture here with the inventor of the product, Dr. Kim, the top representing without a Powerstrip, again, very low energy. And just 15 minutes after putting on the Powerstrip, you see this dispersion of energy. And I would tell you that if Dr. Kim were standing, you would literally see that same response literally going right down to his toes. The intensity is greater at the point of contact, because people ask all the time, do I have to put it right over the area of discomfort or pain? The answer is no. It certainly will maybe have a little better response there, but this is a product that is working throughout the entire blood. So let's talk about how heat relieves pain. It has interrelated biochemical and nervous pathways, results in vessel dilation like we talked about, and increase in blood flow, enhances the release of what's called prostaglandins and histamines, which enhances the dilation. And you've all heard of endorphins, that hormone that we call the runner's high, increases leading to pain relief. Local vessel dilation can extend to involve the entire body, as we saw in that picture with Dr. Kim. Cells that carry pain signals have decreased signal conduction. You have elevated cellular metabolic rate, more efficient clearing of metabolic waste via dilated veins. So this is, I think, a really important slide that I'm showing right here. If we look at the word inflammation, it literally means inflames, that you have a part of your body inflames. And when you injure yourself, you have back pain or you've pulled a tendon or banged into something, obviously that area is going to become inflamed, and that's very important. That signal is telling you. But I'm going to read this quote. What we might not know, of course, is that other things are inflamed internally. And Dr. Mark Hyman, who you may have seen on PBS, he's very, very well written in the area of alternative health and nutrition. What few people understand is that hidden inflammation run amok is at the root of all chronic illness we experience, conditions like heart disease, obesity, diabetes, dementia, depression, cancer, and even autism. So the question is, if you have inflammation, meaning you're on fire, or as this example is, if your house is on fire, what is the first thing you must do to save it? Well, obviously, you need to you need to put the fire out, call the fire department. The second thing you need to do is clean up, and that's that metabolic waste. That's that quickness of detoxification that Dr. Sacedo was talking about. And, of course, the third thing that you need to do is to call in the carpenter and to begin repair, and that's that greater oxygen nutrition going into the cells. So, and really, for me, that's a very simple way to picture the product is, I've got to put the fire out, I've got to clean up the waste, I need to rebuild nutritionally, because we know that we have greater blood flow, we're getting more oxygen and nutrition to the cells. So let's talk about the other part of our listing, because sometimes this is overlooked, and as we all know, pictures are worth 1,000 words, and these are some very powerful pictures. We're talking about skincare. First, we're going to talk about what is happening, why it works. Very similarly, of course, the germanium has skin microcirculation. It's dilating. It's literally, of course, as we talked about, it's allowing greater blood flow, so therefore the improved oxygen and nutrition delivery, and improved cellular waste clearance, detoxification. The product also contains, in the adhesive layer, the ionic silver, which is topical antimicrobial effects, decrease in topical bacteria, decrease in topical viruses, and improved topical environment, meaning it's being prepared for improvement. Korean red ginseng, topical effects. It's topical anti-inflammatory. It's topical protection against photoaging of skin. Improved skin firmness, improved appearance of redness and fine lines. And, of course, marine phytoplankton, which is nature's first food, comes from the ocean. It is microscopic. It is a superfood. It is a complete food, and it is proprietary to Forever Green and FG Xpress, because the patented process that allows for it to be bioavailable to humans is developed by Tom Harper, and our company is an investor and part owner of the Sea Farm where this takes place. So nobody's ever going to see this ingredient in their product other than our distributors. So marine phytoplankton on the skin represents complete nutrition, provides topical antioxidant, again topical anti-allergy, topical anti-inflammatory, evens out skin tones, and improves smoothness of skin. So we're looking at a picture now of the effect of the Powerstrip under a thermographic camera on the face. And you can again see that on the left side, no Powerstrip, then a really dramatic increase in energy and blood flow. And we're now looking at a picture of some skin damage and acne scarring, and you can see the after picture incredibly smooth, the marks are gone. In this picture there's a combination from varicose veins to, again, acne scarring, blood vessels showing in the nose, clearing up, and I think the bottom picture is one of the most telling of all, and that is that this elderly woman, it's not only the reduction of the age spots but also of reduction of lines and wrinkles. In this photo we're looking at an infection behind somebody's ear, and with the application of Powerstrip we see it almost completely cleared up. Again, we have a photograph here of Powerstrip on an arm, and low energy, low blood flow, and the before and after, and put on the Powerstrip. And here we're looking at a picture of a wart on an arm. It has a before, a during, and 10 days later you cannot even see any remnants of that wart. This is a burn from a barbecue grill in 7 days using Powerstrip around the wounds. It is almost entirely cleaned up. Again, we see varicose veins. I mean, guys, gals, very important. People don't want to, particularly as we come into summer, the market for our product just in this arena alone is potentially astronomical when we see what Powerstrips can do for that. Again, we're looking at Powerstrip infrared on the legs, and here you have it. You can see this particular skin condition in 48 hours after applying Powerstrip, almost entirely reversed. But this, guys, is the one that just blows my mind. You're looking at a leg here with a chemical burn. This is during the treatment of Powerstrips. The distributor, the doctor, he tells that the doctors wanted to amputate the leg. He said no, he had faith, and this is the picture 6 months later. Absolutely stunning. I know anybody looking at this has got to be shaking their head, because one has to conclude that if it's working visibly like this for a conditions like you just saw, what could be potentially the effects going on throughout the entire body. And that's why we say Powerstrips are more than just pain relief. So we invite you to join us as we put the world in your hands and help people improve their health and wealth, starting from the comfort of your home, because members around the world are earning a few $100 extra per week to a few extra $1,000 per week, while many others are earning $20, $50, even over $100,000 per month. FG Xpress pays an unprecedented 62%. That's 62 cents on every dollar that comes in goes back out in commissions to us. So what happens as the company grows to $100 million per year? That's $62 million coming back to us. But what if, again, they are able to reproduce and grow this company to $500 million, $1 billion, maybe more? Think of the absolute incredible potential that you are looking at with this one product, because the walls are down. There are no obstacles, meaning that this product mails in a greeting card to any address on the planet, started from the comfort of your home. So the question I leave you with is, how much of that do you want? Welcome to FG Xpress. Welcome home.